Namaste students, welcome to business studies class. In the last class, now we are discussing about the directing chapter. In the directing chapter, in the last class we discussed about which are the different elements of directing. When we discussed elements of directing, there are mainly four kinds of elements. That there first comes supervision, then comes motivation, then comes their communication and leadership. So we know that there are four elements in case of directing. So including these four elements, the process of directing will become complete. So now we will discuss one by one which are those elements and what is that element and what this element says. So we will move towards the first one, that is supervision. What do you mean by supervision? Now the word supervision we see on the basis of two terms or on the basis of two contexts. We see supervision in case of management. In one case we see supervision as an element of directing. In one case we see supervision as an element of directing. In other case we see supervision as it is one of the functions of management. It is one of the functions of management. But if we see supervision as an element of directing, what is supervision? Supervision is nothing but it is overseeing the work done by his subordinate. So it is a process of monitoring or overseeing the work done by his subordinates. This we call it as a supervision in case of when we see supervision as an element of directing. It is a process of overseeing or monitoring the work done by his subordinates. For example, what here now we work under this particular institution. What principal does? He overseeing the work done by his subordinates. We can consider as we are his subordinates. So he has to supervise or he has to monitor what my subordinates or fellow mates are doing, whether they are doing the work according to the goal what we set, whether they are moving towards the goal what we set. If they are not moving, it is his duty to direct them in a proper way. So that is, it is on the basis of when we see supervision as one of the elements of directing. Now, if we see supervision as one of the functions of one of the functions of management, how we see it is one of the functions, supervision, where it comes? It comes in the operational level. It comes in the operational level just above the worker. He will be just above the worker. There will be top level management, there will be board of directors and MDs and all. Then comes the middle level management. There comes the different departmental heads, the production heads or the finance heads or HR heads. Then comes operational levels. Who comes in the operational levels? There comes the workers, the one who execute the actual work of that enterprise. So just above the workers there will be a supervision. Just above the workers there will be a supervision in order to monitor or guide those workers. Now, what do you mean by supervision? If that question comes, you have to answer. It is the process of overseeing or monitoring the work done by his subordinates. It's in a simple sense, and your textbook, some other definitions are there. You can go through it and you can write any of the definitions. Now, after saying what is supervision, we will move towards the importance. What is that importance? Importance are nothing but why this supervision is essential in an organization. Whether it is necessary in the organization, the function of supervision, or the position called supervision, whether he is essential or whether he is necessary in order to run the business or in order to run any of the organization. Yes, if he is necessary means for what purpose he is necessary. For these all purpose, this is his importance. This is the importance of supervision or the work of supervision. What he has to do? He has to do all this work. These are the importance. Now we'll go through one by one what are those importance. Now the first one, to maintain day-to-day contacts. To maintain day-to-day contacts with whom? As I said, the work supervision comes just above the workers. Here comes workers, just above them there comes supervision. Then comes here departmental heads, here maybe, or MD managers, they may come just above them. So to maintain day-to-day contact, who will be maintaining the day-to-day contact with workers? Only supervision. Other person, they will not be having the close contact, close day-to-day contact with the workers, because actual work will be done in this particular place. This is the place where actual work will be done, and this person, supervisor, he will be having day-to-day contact, close contact with the workers. So in order to maintain a day-to-day contact, a day-to-day close contact with the workers, there will be the necessity of supervision. There will be the necessity of the position of supervision or supervision. That is essential. Now, he can maintain friendly relationship with them, and he can act as a guide, or he can act as a philosopher, or he can act as a friend to these people who supervision, so that he can maintain a close day-to-day contact with the workers. So in order to maintain a close day-to-day contact with the workers, their supervision is important, or the supervision is important. Then if we move towards the second one, then to create link between workers and management. See, this is very, very important. He is a person who creates link between workers and the management. Workers, here comes the management, these are the workers. So he is the link between the management and the workers. What happens when he has a link between the management and the workers? What management conveys, what target they set, that he has to communicate with them, that he has to make them to convince what is this target, why they are setting this kind of targets, and what they have to do. And in other case, if these people are facing some problems, the problems might be with the working condition, or it might be with some of the problems with the management, or it may be some of the problems with their internal problems. So these people will communicate with supervision, and he is the person who has to communicate their, he is the person who has to take their problem to the management, and he has to provide solution to these people, because he will be the person who will be monitoring them. So he is a link between, he creates a link between workers and also with the management. He creates a link between workers and the management. In order to create a good link. Good link means when he creates a link means he has to maintain good relationship between management and the workers. That is his responsibility. He should not provide any opportunity to misunderstand, to build any kind of misunderstanding among the workers towards the management. That is his duty. He has to maintain good relationship between workers and management, because he is the link between management and the workers. So in order to create that, what is important? Supervision, or the supervision, the function of supervision, who performs that supervision is important. Then third one, first and second over third. To have control and maintain unity. See, it is the duty of the supervision. He has to control the group of workers. Here he will not be having only one worker or two workers. He will be having many workers below him. So it is his duty. He has to have good control. He should have good control over them. If he doesn't have proper control, then these workers will not listen to his words. So he has to make it in that way. At any cost, these workers has to listen to his words. Then also unity. Unity in the sense there may be a variety of problems, not with the management, among the workers. There might be the groupism, or there might be some other kind of the conflicts between the workers, and that is his responsibility, supervisor's responsibility. He has to solve all the problems, and it is his responsibility. He has to create unity among the workers. If there is unity, if we find unity among the workers, then only and the goals of the organization can be reached properly. What they are expecting from the workers, that can be reached properly. So firstly, he has to create the unity among the workers. Unity, how to create the unity? If there is if he find any kind of conflicts among the workers or any other problems, that is his duty. He has to solve it. He has to solve it so that he should create better unity among the workers, and he should have better control among the workers. If he doesn't have proper control, then it is difficult for supervision to make these workers to work. Make these workers to work according to the organizational goals and what target organization has set. That is the third one. Now, for better performance. For better performance means he will be knowing what is the target of the organization. What is the target of the organization? That target, it is his responsibility that he has to make his workers to reach the target. It is his responsibility. He has to make his workers to reach this target. He has to make them to move towards that target. He has to guide them in such a manner, or he has to direct them in such a manner where they should get convinced by the supervisor, yes, we need to work in order to reach this target. We need to put our better effort in order to reach the target, so that he should improve the performance of the employees. It is his duty to, it is his responsibility to take his workers to achievement of the target or goal what we set, and so that he has to improve the performance of the worker. How he has to improve the performance of the worker? He has to improve means he has to guide them in such a way that it is very, very important to reach this target. If we reach this particular target, we will get something there. We will get some kind of incentives, or we may rewarded them. Then they will get motivated and they can work there more efficiently. That is for better performance. It is his responsibility to improve the performance of his worker. Then, to provide good on-the-job training. To provide good on-the-job training. What is this on-the-job training? On-the-job training is nothing but we provide training in the workplace itself. By what they are working, through that they will get trained. So here, it is the duty of the supervisor. He will be knowing all the work, how workers has to carry this particular work, or how workers has to carry that particular work. So he will be knowing how to carry the work. So when workers are working, he has to guide them. See this, some workers may be newly joined. So he has to go to them and he has to teach them how this task can be completed, how this work should be done, to whom he has to report and from whom he has to receive the orders, how he has to complete the task. So it is his responsibility to provide good on-the-job training. Why? Because others will not be having any kind of personal day-to-day contact with the workers. He is the only person who will be having a day-to-day personal contact with the workers. So only he can guide, or he can direct, or only he can train them properly. Only he can train them properly. So it is his duty that he has to give their good on-the-job training. That is the work of supervision. It is for that purpose supervision is important. To provide good on-the-job training. Next one, to create morale among the workers. What is that? To create morale among the workers. Morale among the workers means supervision. He acts like a leader. He should be act like a leader. He has to lead the group of workers. He has to lead the group of workers. What is the duty of the leader? Leader has to create good morale among the workers. He has to create good discipline in the workplace. That is also one of his responsibility. What happens if we create good discipline among the workers? Then there will not be any kind of conflict between the workers. There will be no absenteeism or labor turnover, or they will be punctual into their work. Such kind of benefits organization will get. So it is the duty of the supervision. He has to create good morale among the workers, and he should act as a leader. He has to act as a leader. When he acts as a leader, it is his responsibility to create good morale among the workers, those are working under him. Then their last one, to provide feedback. What is that? To provide feedback. To provide feedback means workers will be working, and about their work, a supervision, after completing their work, immediately this person will get to know what they have done. So he has to, after seeing their work, he has to give feedback. Yes, you have done it rightly. Or if not, no, you have done it rightly, but there are some drawbacks. What are those drawbacks? He has to tell that drawbacks to the workers. If he give feedback, then it will be helpful to the workers to improve their performance. If he give feedback, then it will be helpful to the workers in order to improve the performance. So that it is his responsibility to give proper feedback. So this is about the supervision and its importance. What is supervision? It is a process of overseeing the work done by his subordinate. It is nothing but monitoring or overseeing the work done by his subordinate. What my subordinates are doing. That is the supervision, and these are some of the importance of supervision. There comes first, to maintain day-to-day contact, day-to-day personal good contact with the employees, and to create link between the management and the workers, to have control and maintain unity among the workers, to have good control over the workers, where he has to make them to listen to him. It is his responsibility. He has to make them to listen to him. Then for better performance, to improve their performance, to give good on-the-job training, to provide them good training, what is right and what is wrong, he has to convey to his workers. Then to create morale among the workers, to create good discipline among the workers, and to provide feedback, proper feedback, how they are doing their work. If they are making some mistake, he has to tell you them that this is your mistake, you have to correct. So this is about supervision, first element. In case of supervision, we are going towards only what is supervision and importance. Now nextly, we will see what is next element. As I said, there are 4 elements in case of directing. The first one, supervision, what we have completed just now. Next comes the motivation. We will see what you mean by motivation. The second element, what is motivation? We discussed about the first one, supervision. After comes motivation. See, these are the firstly the person who directs, he has to supervise the work. Then what he has to do? He has to motivate his employees. What is that motivation? Motivation is nothing but stimulating the employees or encouraging the employees to perform their task in a better way. Motivation is nothing but stimulating or encouraging the workers to work in an efficient way or to improve their performance. But when we see motivation, there are 3 factors are included. The first comes their motive. Then comes their motivation. Then comes motivator. Now, what is the motive? Motive is one of the internal urge. It is internal urge of a particular person or human being. It arises out of needs. It's an internal urge of any of the person. It arises out of thirsty, what he does, that is the inner urge. He is hungry. It's an inner urge of a particular person. What he does, he search for food. What is the motive? He is searching for food. What is the motive for that? Motive is hungry. He is hungry or he is thirsty. He is searching for food. What is the motive to search for food? Motive is hungry or then thirsty. Then if we see in case of job security, he required job security. Then for example, affection, love. This we can give example. What happens? He searched for a particular person because he want to share some of his feelings. So that we can take it under motive. That is the motive. He is searching for food. What is the motive? Why he is searching for food? He is searching for food because he is hungry. That is the main motive to search for food. That is the motive to search food. That we call it as motive. Then motivation. What is motivation? Motivation is the process. What process he will do in order to satisfy the needs. To satisfy his needs. Satisfy his needs. What is his need here? Need is he wants food. That is his need. What he does? He search for a food. He search for a food. That process we call it as motivation. When he be having particular motive, what he does in order to satisfy that particular needs. Motive arises from some of the needs. What he does for that we call it as a motivation. Then motivator. What will be the motivator? For example, motivator is nothing but it's a technique. It is a technique in order to encourage or some person. For example, technique here, incentives. In an organization, the manager, he says that the people, those who will work efficiently or those who will reach this particular target in this particular month, they will get some incentives. So this incentive is a motivator. Incentive is a motivator. Motivator is nothing but it's a technique. It's a technique. For example, a father says to a student, if you score 90 plus, if you score the percentage, if you get percentage 90 plus, I will give you a bike. What is that bike? Bike is a motivator. Bike is a motivator for that student to score 90 plus. So motivator is, it's a technique what we use in order to provide motivation to a particular person. So this is about motivation. This is just a brief introduction about motivation. There are many factors under motivation. We need to study about many factors under motivation. There comes Maslow's need theory and features of motivation and importance of motivation. Then we also discuss about the different kinds of incentives. Incentives are techniques what we used in order to motivate the employees in the organization. It can be financial incentives or it can be non-financial incentives. So motivation is with a larger concept than what we studied supervision. It's a very smaller concept, but these four concepts also. Supervision, motivation, leadership, communication, these are very, very important. So today we just completed which one? Supervision, and we have just seen the introduction of motivation. And about motivation we will discuss tomorrow. In detailed discussion we will do tomorrow. So today we studied supervision and their importance, and some of the introduction I have given. What is motive, what is motivation, and what is who are motivators, what is motivators. So about motivation we will discuss tomorrow. Today we will wind up with this. Thank you.